That is debatable, because you and I will also agree that, well, you can actually see some visible changes. Perhaps that is why we want to see what has happened in the assembly. For those close watchers and those who live in Edo State like yourself, you really can't compare what was and what is as it is now in terms of development. And some would say it's a big point for the present governor. But going forward, we would like you to tell us more on what you think happened in that supposedly hallowed chamber. We call it supposedly because what we saw was almost like a desecration. What happened in Edo State?
There was a movement. First of all is that some principal actors in the APC moved across the 3 senatorial districts. And it was a mass movement. It was also, I mean, I know that your media also carried it. Naturally, their loyalists, who are also in the House of Assembly, would move along with them. So about 3 weeks ago, 4 members of the House of Assembly declared their support for the People's Democratic Party. So they had 5 before, 5 to 19, because it's a 24 House membership. 1 moved from APC, from PDP to APC, so it became 20 to 4. Then 4 moved and joined the PDP, so it became 8 to 16. It appears like the deputy speaker, even though he hasn't moved, but it appears like he has sentiments for the PDP. So effectively, you can say what you have is 9 to 16. And in 9 to 15. And in all of this, I think that there was also an attempt to declare their seat vacant. So these gentlemen went to court, and the court said, this is the bane of the crisis, maintain status quo. I went to evening school, but I think that status quo simply means let us leave things the way they are until all of the matters surrounding the campaign and declaring seat vacant and suspension is adjudicated upon in a competent court of jurisdiction. That's what my evening school teacher taught me in English. That status quo simply means leave it the way it is. But in the midst of this, the speaker and a couple of people who are loyal to their side suspended these 4 people in question now. And the House rule says you can't suspend for more than 24 hours. So by the next day, first of all, they argued that by the suspension, they were acting ultra-vires. And I need to mention that I'm uncomfortable with the impunity with which we disobey court orders in this country. I'm very uncomfortable with it. And then you feign that you haven't received it. I have a problem with that. Not too long ago, teachers in Edo State went and obtained an injunction. Don't conduct competency tests. The government said they didn't receive it. And then that order was flouted upon pretense that we didn't receive it. Now there's a court order that says maintain status quo. Because if the court is the last hope of the common man, once we cannot obey court orders, we have opened ourselves to all manner of challenges that will snowball into incidences that we'll not be able to control.
So just a moment, I mean, let's clarify the issues here. You're saying that they went to court, they got a court order.
And the court said maintain status quo.
In other words, do not tamper with their seats, but they were suspended.
They were suspended for... There is the court order. When you say maintain status quo, the court order says...
I understand. I mean, I'm just trying to say they should not be... They cannot lose their seats.
They cannot lose their seats.
Yes.
The court order includes that they should not be suspended.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify.
It maintains they should not be suspended. All of the issues that surround their defections and all of that maintain status quo. All right? And then there were issues of inducement. They were induced, they were not induced. It is surprising that the House of Assembly, as it is known now, understands what misconduct is. Because some of us have thought that the House of Assembly hasn't been up to their task at all as far as Edo State is concerned. We have witnessed incidences in Edo State where a commissioner was appointed and he was already acting before his name was sent to the House of Assembly. We have witnessed the dissolution of a local government, the suspension of the local government chairman, and the power was not handed over to the head of service. It was the governor constituted a sole administrator that ran. So we have seen a House of Assembly that has been docile. So when we saw people decamping, so to speak, and it looked like we were going to have a vibrant opposition in the House of Assembly, we welcomed it. In the midst of all of this, these guys were suspended. By the next day, they tried to hold their own sitting. And then we saw thugs in their numbers. And this is a sad point, it's a sore point for us.
You have scaled over one particular point. You said they were suspended and did they try to hold their own sitting?
No, yes, they were suspended.
Yes.
And that by the next day,
yes,
they tried to hold their own meeting. And they did hold their own meeting according to them. And they also said they are suspended the existing structures.
Which was what we saw on television.
Yes.
They did hold their own meeting. 9 of them?
9 of them.
9 of them held their own meeting and attempted to suspend
the rest of them.
So that was like 2 wrongs trying to make a right.
You see, it is instructional to mention that illegality would always beget illegality. Lord Dennis said you can't put something on nothing and expect it to stand.
What was the first illegality?
The first illegality is maintain status quo. That's what the court says.
Okay, so
and then you suspend.
They had not been suspended before that court judgment came.
No, they had not been suspended before the court judgment came to say maintain status quo. So if you now suspend, you have also acted ultra vires. If you now also go to say want to hold our own city, you have also acted ultra vires. And like you said yesterday, they are called honorable members of the House of Assembly. We saw it on local television, it's on our own local, it's currently on YouTube, where the majority leader, Philip Shaibu, is seen on television, asking thugs to move into the House of Assembly. Get them out of the House of Assembly. He is the majority leader. This is not speculation. It's already on YouTube. It's in our local television all over Edo State.
And the police was there?
Oh, I mean, well, maybe the police had not arrived at that time because I wasn't there. But I saw it on television where the man is saying with his 2 hands, move in, move in.
Who was he asking?
He was asking, the majority leader was asking thugs to move into the House of Assembly.
For what
perhaps
purpose?
Ostensibly to move the other party out of...
because we understood that these people arrived with policemen, and we did see that there was some police presence in front of the State House of Assembly, especially when protests were about to get out of hand. No,
before the protest, day before yesterday, there was a protest in front of the House of Assembly, at which point in time the police had not arrived. By the next day, the other party also organized their own boys for their own protest. It was at that point the police moved in to arrest the situation. So what we have is a theater of confusion that didn't begin today, that anchors one on intolerance of opposition, that anchors one on government open business with non-thugs. Government does official business. And the governor was asked one day, why do you use less than credible personalities to run business? And this is his response, that you know that the people you want to collect tax from are mad. So you need a madman. So every time you differ with government, people are heckled. When I was here, it was what we discussed the local government election, but the challenge was actually the Maguero saga, the Cornelium the governor's confrontation. In that occasion, several members of our civil society were beaten by goons ostensibly sponsored by government. And I don't want to mention names because we're on live television. And besides, I mean, I am too dignified to mention names of thugs that government does official business. It's all over town.
No, hold on.
By a few, sorry, 2 weeks later.
Government doing business with thugs.
Official
business.
Yes. We know it can be rumored. It can be rumored sometimes to imply that government has sponsored this and that. But I am telling you that the governor was asked to say, you are doing business. The man said, look, I will do business with that man because he's got the muscles and perhaps he's got the madness in his own language to collect tax.
And this is in print? Or?
Oh, it's in media. It was all over. That's the response. That's the response of that's the response of the governor. So we have seen civil society members beating. We have seen labor members of Nigerian Labour Congress beating in Edo State. So it appears that once you differ, these boys they swoop on you because you cannot differ. The majority can have their way.
So you
but minority cannot even have their say.
You say very clearly that the Edo State government is intolerant of opposition.
Oh, no,
and you have seen that across
by my
board.
own first-class experience, they haven't demonstrated that they are tolerant of opposition clearly by what is even demonstrated today.
Would you also say that the opposition has been lying low in terms of, you know, watching what has been happening in Edo State and not doing anything about it?
But herein lies the dilemma. 3 years ago, it was impossible to think about speaking ill of Comrade Governor Adams Oshiomhole 3 years ago because he had caught following. There was literally no opposition. PDP lied, not just in limbo, but almost in complete political comatose. But by no design of the People's Democratic Party, they have been brought to limelight. I have said it, that I haven't seen within a short time how somebody can lose public goodwill. People closed shop 3 years ago when the governor was inspecting. People closed shop. I haven't seen somebody lose so much public goodwill. The PDP didn't need to do anything. You became a willing tool to bring the PDP to limelight. Now the PDP is basking in the euphoria of being a reformed People's Democratic Party.
What happened?